Welcome to Talent Freaks. I'm Andy, a filmmaker and photographer based in the Bay Area of California. We recorded this podcast live on a patio at a hotel during checkout at Carmel by the Sea, right after a successful screening at Carmel by the Sea Film Festival. So you might hear some interruptions, but they actually blend beautifully with our conversation, and we hope you enjoy the authentic feel they bring. And today we dive into Flowers Beyond the Dark with director Iryna Pravylo and producer Yulia Z. Flowers Beyond the Dark offers a deeply moving portrayal of Ukraine's resilience amid devastation. It tells intimate stories, a priest witnessing atrocities in Bucha, a family torn apart and reunited, and frontline soldiers. It reveals the human cost of war through quiet, powerful visuals and testimonies, evoking empathy and a call to action. The film's beauty lies in its meticulous craftsmanship, the sweeping drone footage capturing the vastness of destruction, the careful pacing that allows space for emotion to settle, and the evocative musical score that subtly underlines the trauma and hope. Now, these elements come together seamlessly to create a resonant and immersive experience. Before we begin, a note for listeners and viewers. This episode will feature clips from the documentary in Ukrainian with English subtitles. If you're listening on audio, please be patient and attentive as these clips are no longer than 45 seconds each. And we invite you to mind the tone, the music, and the stories unfolding visually, even if you can't see them. This careful integration of sound and image brings a fuller experience of the film's emotional power. But before we jump in, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll catch more stories from the front lines of creativity and important documentaries like Flowers Beyond the Dark. All right, let's meet director Iryna Pravylo and producer Yulia Z. Thank you, Yulia and Iryna, for joining me on Talent Freaks podcast. And I'm very grateful that you reached out to me about this opportunity, because when I first saw your documentary 2 years ago, it was like 2 years ago, right?
A year ago in 2024, on February 24.
No, it's 2 years actually.
No, it's
I was
2024.
I was pregnant. My son is 1 year old.
Yes, 1 year old and a few months.
I was 3 months
February
old.
2024.
I was 3 months pregnant, Ira. So 9 months pregnancy plus a year of my child. It goes 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago, Andy.
Are you ladies sisters?
Cosmic, I would call it cosmic sisterhood, and it's a thing. It's a thing.
But I realized that you work closely together on this on many fronts. So it's cool to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But when I saw it, I did that blog post, and I just started my blog up again. And I was like, when I started doing the podcast again, when I renewed it, rebranded all this content, I was like, this is one I really want to do, but I wasn't ready for it. And then you reached out to me, and it was just like, yes, absolutely, this is fantastic. So I'm really grateful that you did that, but also incredibly blown away by the documentary, because I saw the screener that you shared with me. And before I go into the documentary, just tell me about the experience that you have, not just producing it, but also, coming to America and sharing it with audiences here. We're in Carmel by the Sea, California, and you were in the Carmel by the Sea Film Festival and showed it on Friday evening, so 2 nights ago. And just tell me about the experience for that, and then how'd you get here?
This is my first time in US. Of course, first time. Yeah, first time in California, of course in Carmel by the Sea. So it's for me like, mind-blowing experience. And also it's such a big contrast between, being all this time, very difficult time since 2022 in Ukraine, with all events that happening and still happening. Yeah, with war, invasion, Russia to Ukraine. And it's such a big contrast to be here. And it's I have this feeling from the one bank, I have this feeling that, wow, I'm in US. I was grown up on your films. Yeah, your culture is so meaningful for me and for my, creativity life and creativity university, my own university. But in the same time, I'm feeling that I couldn't imagine that we will be doing film like that, and I absolutely couldn't imagine that I will be filming and doing my future debut as a documentary about war. So all this, it's such a emotional combo. But at the same time, I just told Yulia that I felt yesterday that this is such a great place where I'm feeling like I'm in a place where I have to be, I'm meant to be. Because from the first moment we get here, every person already knew that we're from Ukraine, that I'm arrived from Ukraine, and every person was so emotional, you know, so supportive, and saying, "We know about your film. We heard about it so much. We will come and see." And for me, this is the biggest award that. First of all, I can come here, and secondary, that there was a big audience at the screening night. This is, you know, this is the highest level of happiness for cinematographer, especially when it comes to telling about truth, about something so tragic, but in the same time so important to know here in US. So for me, it's big opportunity.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. I'm saying welcome to US, especially California. It's gotten so different all over America over the past 10 years. So I'm glad that you can experience America here in California. It's a very welcoming, open, state. And Yulia, your position with us, I know you're co-founder of Nova Ukraine. Tell me about how what Nova Ukraine and what you do helped this documentary kind of come into.
Yeah, and just, side note, I'm not a part of Nova Ukraine now, but I was at the roots of founding Nova Ukraine, and that was really important moment in the history of forming Ukrainian American community in the Bay Area. So right at the Revolution of Dignity, it was also a...
Hold on one second, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just wait for that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. This is our
Got a live audience.
Yeah. They saw film.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is my card.
Thank
I
you.
gave it to you last night. I want you to do this for me if you would. When you get a moment, send me your contact information.
Yeah.
Your name, your email,
Yeah.
everything, okay? What I'm going to do is this. I was up all night, and part of the reason was you, because I kept thinking about the film. I'm going to do this. I don't know anything about funding and distribution of films, but I'm in sales and marketing for 30 years. So
Fred, we need you.
I'm going to construct some emails, and I'm going to put your contact. I don't want them contacting me.
Yeah, of course.
I want to cast the bread out there and say, contact her.
Yeah.
And I'm going to contact Spielberg. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to contact George Lucas too. I'm going to go from there.
You're going to make me cry.
I'm already crying.
I'm retired, and my girl says, you need a cause.
Yeah.
This is my
Nancy, thank you so much.
so much,
Thank you,
Nancy.
seriously.
Right on.
And a happy man is the one who listens to what the girlfriend says. This is like a wisdom from Ukrainian woman that everyone should, engrave in their
I
brains.
sent a text this morning to Dixie that said, as the Ukrainian group left it, because I want to get my information in your hands and walk in here and you're here.
That's amazing.
I looked at
Fred,
Nancy and I went,
seriously.
no way.
Oh my God. See, it's meant to be.
It's
We call it
divine
meant to be.
intervention.
Yes. This is
God.
God.
Yes,
We
this is
believe in
absolutely
that.
God. So,
Thank you guys so much.
Favorite?
We'll definitely be in touch. We're going to be done with this interview and there's one more and then we'll have some time. We'll just be at the beach because we need to check out from here and there's a wars night tonight. But we'll be in touch. Fred, please help us. Please, any help we can
I'm
get.
retired, honey. I'm 71 years old. I have a lot of time on my hands.
Perfect. And in the cause.
I'm going to be working that keyboard.
You're not just helping the film, you're helping this, we need help. We can't do it on our own. We've been doing it on our own. It's been so hard,
You need a village. You need a city to take a...
He literally was up all night thinking about you.
Yeah, I was. I was laying in bed, tossing and turning. I thought, what can I do? What can I do? I'll contact Spielberg. And I thought, you don't even know the guy. What are you talking about? But, that's probably the beauty of it because I'm a nobody. I can say I saw this film. It touched me deeply. You did send it this, Mr. Spielberg. Give me some funding for this.
Yeah.
Get these schools some funding. Make this happen.
Well, you know, Dean Conti knows him, and he was at the panel yesterday.
Yes.
We want to make Dean Conti watch the documentary because he has Spielberg contact, you know. But
Absolutely.
if we get together testimony from people want to get this out there, you know, they will listen because,
Yes,
you
they
know.
will.
Yeah.
The story is
Hopefully.
just
It was
is
great
tremendous.
to shoot the video, like a
Well, we
review,
cannot
but
get,
you are already leaving, yes? Or you will be here?
We're here till tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We'll
then
call
we
you
will call
because we want to make a video of you guys talking about the film.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we already got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, we got it. Ira, we got it already.
This is
So,
meant to be.
Yeah.
I
This
don't
is-
know where it's going,
yeah.
and I don't really care. I know it's meant to be, so it's going to be good.
Yeah.
things.
No,
Thank
guys,
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
We'll
much.
be in touch shortly. Yes,
We will
thank
find
you. This is insane. Like,
Yeah.
That was awesome. No, I'm glad. That's the best kind of interruption.
yeah.
So we're doing a podcast, so it's not like, oh,
yeah.
so I'm grateful that you came in and did that. That's wonderful.
It's from my heart, brother.
Yeah.
It's from my heart.
We need more hearts like yours.
For sure.
We don't do enough
I know.
to put down this aggression and this genocide, and we need to do more.
Thank you.
Grassroots.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you. Andy, thank you. Thank you for having us. It really means a lot to us to get our film out there and just to speak to you as well, because we believe this is a conversation that we have to have.
Yeah.
I understand we're in war, year number 4, but there's no end in sight, and it gets even worse every day. So we cannot just turn away. So when it comes to me in Nova Ukraine, I'm not actively involved right now with Nova Ukraine, but I was at the roots of Nova Ukraine, and it all happened during Revolution of Dignity, and it was a very historical moment for Ukrainian American community in the Bay Area because we got together. I finally found Ukrainian community I was longing for when the revolution happened, and we took the streets of San Francisco to show solidarity. And when Revolution of Dignity won, we realized we need a platform, a legal, trustworthy platform to spread awareness about Ukraine, to continue being the voice of Ukraine here in the Bay Area. And organizations like Nova Ukraine became critical during the first days of Russia's full invasion until now. We're talking about 4 years in, Nova Ukraine, Razom, they gathered millions of donations, from the United States and routed to the most critical causes in Ukraine. So nonprofits in the United States are really, really important. During active war, it's hard to support art and culture because they're thinking about what people are going to eat, drink, medical aid. So that's always a priority. But for organizations like Nova Ukraine, Leleka Foundation, it goes hand in hand to also support arts and culture, because we're realizing now more than ever that this is not the war about the land grab. Russia is trying to erase Ukrainian identity. They've been stealing for years from us. They've been stealing for centuries, our art, our culture, claiming it as theirs. So now in 2025, just now we're seeing, the largest museums in the world renaming Ukrainian artists and labeling them as Ukrainian, not Russian. And that's why it's critical. Cultural diplomacy, the film of the medium of film, it's such an important platform to continue talking about Ukraine, having this dialogue, and more than anything, evoke action from it.
That left me speechless because, so as I told you prior, I'm married to a Ukrainian woman, and she has kind of informed me about everything, the history and everything about Russia and Ukraine. And I didn't see it in that perspective, obviously, beforehand. So what you said it just echoes what she has been telling me. And it breaks my heart to hear that, especially with a proud country that celebrates freedom and celebrates each other. And even the thing I see, like in your documentary and other documentaries, is the spirit of the Ukrainian people when they're talking, and sometimes they talk about, like, very empathetic about how they feel sorry for Russians, how they're reacting to what the government is doing, and how can they think that way. I think there was something in yours that you said, like, they're being mindless and they're becoming evil just because of what the government is doing. And I don't want to go quite yet into the documentary, but something that really kind of touched me about what you're doing, and as a filmmaker, you know, I was like waiting for the credits, and I see director, Iryna. Thank you. See, it happens all the time. And then editor, producer, cinematographer, just everything. And I can relate to that because I do it myself, but I couldn't relate doing that during a war or during the hardships that you were going through. And the reason I bring that up is because I want to understand, like, what was your thinking when the war started and how this documentary came to become an idea for you?
Yeah, thank you so much, because it's true that we have such a small but, you know, mighty team. Actually, there is three of us who should sit here. We have also our colleague Alexander Mesherekov. Yes, he is a cinematographer, main cinematographer and executive producer of the film. To be honest, the first stages, it was like challenge for me and Alexander because oh my God, my English is come with Ukrainian just right in this moment. Something is happening because I'm now speaking about home, you know, speaking about close people. So in that moment when invasion started, we thought how we can be helpful in any ways. First, we evacuated our relatives. Then we started to bring some humanitarian aid to some Ukrainian blocks that was not so good with, you know, products, food, and everything. Alexander and me, we also have a coffee shop, and we bring all milk, all food that we had, and bring it to people. And you know, it's so also mind-blowing when there was a few months later and someone came to you and saying, thank you for the milk. In the first week of invasion. It helped me, it saved me. And we are like, wow, oh my God. And right after the events in Bucha, and when all world saw what's happened, these shots of dead people in the streets of beautiful European city, just laying killed, it was absolutely devastated for us. And we decided that we have to, you know, just capture as many evidence as possible. We are cinematographers, we have cameras, we can do something. And there was no idea, you know, we will do full-length documentary film about war. No, just shoot it. If you will have some footage that can help. And we knew already that we can give it to Yulia, because Yulia, the first moment, she was like helping with everything she could. And thanks to her, we doing this all humanitarian aid, you know. And we knew that we have to shoot something and give it to Yulia, and somehow be in the touch all this time. So we went to this deoccupied territory of Kyiv region, because we are based in Kyiv, and this is like, you know, our hometown, our capital of Ukraine, you know, and this thought and thinking that they were so close to our heart of our country. It was absolutely, it's difficult to explain what it was. But we started filming. And step by step, we found our characters. We filmed destroyed infrastructure.
Well, before you go into that,
yeah.
Let's talk about the characters that you find.
Yeah.
How did you find, like, it's very specific. You found the priest who's, you know, right next to the Bucha massacre.
Yeah.
But also then a couple that was separated, and they're both artists. And then the soldiers. And I think it's such a beautiful contrast of people that you chose to select. You know, even the married couple, they were separated during the wartime, not because of their marriage, but because one was in the countryside and one was in, you know, in the city.
Yeah.
So how did you find these stories or the people? Or these people that you personally knew? Or is this something that, I guess...
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this question. As we were saying, so much things happening like it meant to be in whole this in our different project and in this project especially. We started with the line of two artists, Natalia and Sergei. I knew this couple from my childhood.
Okay.
They are friends of my parents, and we made a lot of projects with Sergei, like with an artist. We were working together on different films. So we, of course, we knew what is happening with all our friends. And the story that Natalia is under occupation in the village, we knew right when it happened. So we were helping Sergei to go through all this. Also helped to him and his family, because he was not alone. He was with his children and grandchildren in the basement and not so far from us. So we were witnessing his feelings and all that was happening with him. And right in the moment when we found out that Natalia is survived and that there is a deoccupation and there is a possibility to go to her and to maybe to try to just to help or maybe to try to record something, we did it. And you know, it was very difficult because when we came, we felt that this atmosphere of occupation. It was still there, no electricity, no food, no, you know, cell phone possibility to connect to anyone. And we just asked her if she willing to do this step. And after, she's like very shy person. But I was shocked because she was like, understood that this is important. And she asked me to do, this is very private. Just two of us in the room, you know. We put the light in. Alexander done everything with the light, and it was interesting because we have power from the car because no electricity, and people were like neighborhoods. There is already electricity. We know. Sorry, do you need some charging or something? And in that moment, it was like confession.
Я подумала, я не залишу своїх котів. Та й не було з ким їхати. Але вже потім, коли почалася ця стрілянина, я вже все залишала. І котів, і хату відкриту. Але машини їхали з білими флажками, прапорами. Всі забиті, з дітьми. І ніхто мене не взяв.
You know, it was not so long. I think we had 25 minutes of interview. But she was saying, was crying.
You got a lot.
Yeah, I was crying. And I just looked at her and like I was, like I understood everything that happened. And I understood that this is like a common experience for whole Ukrainians. And it's experience that have to be experience of whole humanity.
Yeah.
And after that, we go to Bucha because you know all about all this happened. We understood that we have to capture exhumation process because we saw how Russia, right after a few months, were saying it's a fake. There was no dead people in Ukraine and Bucha, you know. So we were shooting exhumation, and I was shocked that the church were working all this period of occupation. And we met Andrei Halavin, the main priest of the church, and I immediately understood that this is our character.
Yeah.
Because he became not only, you know, like a guide for his community and for his church, he became a guide for international delegations, hundreds and hundreds. After that, he were in New York Times and other medias. So he is very powerful character for this story, like spiritual, you know, line. And the third one, we understood that it's have to be our defenders line. And we found out about our father of our very close friend that he were killed during defending the Kiev region. He was a soldier of 72nd Brigade, one of the key brigade that protected Kiev. And we met with Andrei Halavin, with Andrei Verkhovlat. I'm sorry, but you see that there are a lot of Andrei who were like, godfathers for our project. Why I'm saying so? Because Andrei Verkhovlat is a young Ukrainian hero who introduced us to his guys, and they become absolutely amazing characters in the movie. And unfortunately, just after 1 month from our meeting with Andrei, we found out that he was killed during battle.
Sorry.
So it was absolutely heartbreaking moment in the film. So these 3 lines, they gathered together, not so like we're calculating, it will be great to have these 3 lines. It was so natural and organic, and somehow it gives so many levels for the film.
And Yulia, your part, when did you get involved in this documentary? Because so just to kind of give understanding, you're an American citizen now, correct?
Yes. I've been living in the United States since 2007, so very soon it's going to be half of my life, so I definitely consider both countries my home, and I'm proud Ukrainian American. To answer your question, where did I get involved with this documentary? I think more than 10 years ago when I got involved with this one, by stroke of fate, and she was working on her first trilogy project, shooting in film. And, being the amazing person, she's reaching out higher and doing, doing things not the way people around her do, but the best in this industry or in this position people do. She did a Kickstarter campaign for that.
Okay.
For that film project, and that was during Revolution of Dignity, even before Nova Ukraine was formed, during Maidan SF times. It was basically just Ukrainians got together and created Maidan SF. So, in solidarity with Maidan movement back in Kiev, we have created Maidan San Francisco. And I saw this film project on Kickstarter, and I was already part of a startup world. So, I was always scanning Kickstarter at that time. And I was like, a filmmaker from Ukraine, and she's a woman. And there's 3 days left until their campaign is funded. I must speak to this woman and just hear her out. And so Iryna and I spoke, and it became apparent to me that I cannot not support her. I know what it means when you need help, and it seems like there's no one left to help you, and you're facing this deadline. And I said, we gotta do something. And I just called my friends, I called friends, and we got together and we funded, we closed the funding for the Kickstarter campaign. So it was during the day for us, it was during the night for them. And Iryna called me the next day crying, we all woke up to a miracle.
Yeah.
A $700 miracle that can change lives.
Wow.
And I want to highlight that because I feel like so many people are, have the possibility, but shy away just because they're not opening their hearts to possibilities of helping those who has the potential, who is reaching out for help, and just making themselves more available for projects like this. Because look at us 10 years later. Yeah. Here we are. So when the war started, I actually joined back Nova Ukraine and was heading the marketing initiatives. I quit my job. I couldn't do anything when the war started. So for 6+ months, I was volunteering full time for free. I was Nova Ukraine because that was I could not do it.
Yeah.
And Iryna, obviously, we're in touch closely. And when she started shooting, there was no discussing. Yeah. Will you be involved? What exactly that means. Yeah. We're doing this. Okay, I'm gonna let her do her thing with Alexander. They're gonna we're just gonna collect evidence. It's a must, and we'll go from there. So
let's just say thank you.
Thank you for having me. See you later, guys. We'll talk to you later.
The pleasure is totally mine.
Nancy, thank you for backing us on that too. Thank you.
Yeah. I think I just adopted the country. How cool is that?
Yeah. And guys, when the war is over, guess what? You're going to Ukraine, and you're gonna see what you saved, and like what an amazing legacy of Europe that is.
I love that.
Perfect.
Deal.
We're gonna organize a.
I want an invite to the Oscars too.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that.
Oh my God.
So at this moment in life, we experience what we call professional sisterhood. It's really interesting concept, and I feel blessed, same as Iryna, that we have each other during these hard moments. But we just love to share the goods, the good and the bad of it. And for us, being 3 people, it's been an extremely steep, hard mountain to climb. Luckily, I'm a mountaineer as well.
That's
so,
right.
That ties in, and
She's
Iryna's-
saying one step at a time.
Does she do that?
all the time. It's as we like to put it, it's our artistic and civil duty to make this documentary. There's no question about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, so my background, documentary filmmaker, it's nothing experience quite like your experience, but there's a little bit of similarity. So a friend of mine had ALS. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. It's called Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a progressive neurological disease that the nerves die and they basically shrivel, and it's a death. So we came together as a community to help him as best as we can. So me and my friend did a documentary web series about him. And for me, when I worked into that, I wasn't really dealing with watching him die because I had something to do. And it kept me away from that. And then when he passed away, we finally finished the series, it all came out. Like, I got sick for 2 weeks. I lost everything. I didn't lose physical, like, material stuff. I was just weak. I couldn't function. And I realized it was from everything that I was holding on to from that experience. And it was a 2-year battle. And the reason I bring that up is because I wanted to understand, like, how do you deal with a war, in the middle of it while you're focusing on the story? And if you could just talk about that.
Thank you for this question, for this deep question, because there is no family in Ukraine which has didn't lose someone in this war. And this is like something that's happening every day. And this deep grief is becoming, the part of our identity.
Yeah.
Because in the same time, we have to, keep fighting. We have to be strong. We have to keep working on the memory of those people. We have to build Ukraine of their dream. And this is a huge task for a nation. And I think that the thing that helping us is the theme that we are trying, to look for this support in our closest people, or in people who are not, who are care in whole world. This is why it's so important, this support of Americans, of European people, of the people from whole world, because you cannot imagine how it helps. It's like this process that you were going through, because when community are united for one goal, it's very important. For us, it was absolutely difficult, because one day you are waking, you of course thanks God that you are waking, because this is the question of each day question,
Mm-hmm.
Will I wake tomorrow? Because this danger is not only on front lines. There are a lot of, you saw the how many drones and bombs are still bombing Ukraine each day.
Yeah.
And
Kyiv especially.
Kyiv
the capital.
special. and big cities. It's like dangerous, and it's like, you know, making you philosophical in some way. But in the same time, you understand that, thank you God that I'm still here. I understood I have to do something more. I have mission here, so I will keep working. And you know, this theme also very special to this project and for our team, because film is dedicated to the light memory of Andriy Verkhovlat that I were mentioned before. He was only 27 years old when he died. He were in this war since he graduated from his university. He was absolutely amazing commander. And when we met, all my thoughts were about, wow, he will be so great commander after war, after victory. You know, he will change Ukraine, all these thoughts. And when in one moment you understand that this war take the best from us, the people who are the best, you're just in shock, and you understand that if you are still here, you have to do max to involve people to come and fight, to make things right, to give this opportunity to understand why we are fighting for, what is our value. And you just have to keep learning to put all this anger, all this, you know, grief, and to become that it can be your power, to make it your power, to make this is your identity. It is very important to say this in US, because your country is a country of freedom, and I'm from the Kiev, you know, the capital of the freedom. So we have to work together.
Yeah, and you know, we're going through our own thing
Yes.
in this country. Not really happy with what's happening, and I want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, as far as, you know, you being stateside and getting involved in this as a producer, what were you doing to help her throughout this process?
Andy, first and foremost, funds. You know, they need to eat.
Yeah.
They need gas to go to these places. Gas was through the roofs or not available. There's no electricity. Oh, we need to find a generator and buy it in London and then deliver it from London. It's basic stuff, you know. To make a documentary is really hard, but you need funds to do it.
Yeah.
And when there's war in Ukraine breaking out, and Iryna and Alexander dealing with, you know, locating their relatives, like there's basic needs that needs to be covered first.
Yeah.
And then we just continued looking for funds. You know, we kept putting what we have, but we don't have much. You know, it's like there's a wall you can hit very quickly. And my priority was to make sure they have the minimum to keep going. Timing was everything. You know, excavation butcher couldn't wait until someone comes along and gives us money to do it. So for the years, my birthday was fundraisers for this film.
Yeah.
I quite frankly, you know, had also hit a wall of like begging my friends and family, but I'm so grateful because it takes a village, and of course that village is first is of your friends and family, and without those people it would not be possible for us to make this film, because we had to show something. Even going to, you know, Nova Ukraine, I was very grateful for Nova Ukraine. They later in the stage they gave us a small production grant, but everything helps. And I commend Nova Ukraine because people come and say to us, show us the ready film, show us the complete work. How can we, without someone believing us, without someone supporting us?
Yeah.
You know, the small independent filmmakers team that we are. So that was my goal, is funding and spreading the word and establishing connections here in the United States to prepare for the film to be received. And then later on, of course, Iryna and I went down the whole rabbit hole of film festivals, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a big story.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of like transitioning into your actual documentary, because one of the things I saw was how beautifully shot this was. From the interviews, and it felt very like simplistic, but it was also just calming. Obviously I don't understand the language, so it was subtitles. But also it gave a feeling of what was happening. Like you interviewed, I forget the artist's name.
Natalia.
Sergey
Yeah, they're both like in her home that felt very abandoned.
Yeah.
And he was like in a basement, kind of like storage, almost like a storage facility. And I understand like when the air raids were happening, that's kind of, you see him walking down there.
Yeah.
Could talk to me about like your thinking of, because me in the panic, I'd be like, let's just get it and, do this kind of things. But what went through your mind about how do we need to show, these people and what they're going through?
Було страшно. Ховалася в погребі.
I think it's important to say about my cinematic background. I'm from very old Ukrainian, theater and cinema school. I have roots of very, very powerful and talented people that traced from the name Les Kurbas, absolutely innovator. High-level innovator in theater and cinema. Please Google it if you don't know him. Yeah, so I have a strong cinema and theater school.
Okay.
And now I'm a teacher, and also I get this degree of the first degree of Doctor of Screen Arts in audiovisual sector in Ukraine during the invasion in 2023 in the end of the year.
The first PhD.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, in audiovisual arts.
During the war.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. In all my work, there is such high level, of this maximalism and idealistic thoughts about how it should be. I just shared with Yulia this quote of our legendary musician Taras Компаніченка. Can you help me with translation? That you have, ти маєш добре почуття браку? How to say it in English?
Yeah. One must have a great sense of fault, something that's wrong, and she carries that and weaves into everything. This is wrong. I need to improve this. This needs to be better.
Yeah.
It's never like this will do. Like she will spend hours on making this better if she deems it faulty.
Yeah, and another thing is the moment of understanding that art have to be very aesthetic.
Yeah.
Even if it's art, this art is about war and absolutely terrifying, ugly things, And there is another quote from our philosopher Alexander Potebnya. He was saying that you have to transform reality to art, and even if it's absolutely ugly, you have to do it more beautiful.
Yeah, and that's something that I really noticed and it's not just it's also the Porcelain War, like how beautiful it was shot, and that art was a main theme in it too, like yours.
Yes.
Like you focused on that, and it was just like a pleasant break from, everything that's going on, even though they're still experiencing it. And I want to go jump into the beginning of the film because when you were talking about this, it reminded me like how floored I was. Like you don't even hear someone speak until 5 minutes into the documentary.
Yeah.
And I know that as a filmmaker, like you really brought people into that setting, the environment. Just you didn't talk about like that mass grave. We know what that is. We see it. You see bodies, and you see people just in shock. And then you see the streets, the surroundings, and to me it was such a like I'm involved, I'm in it. And I guess for me, a lot of people are different how they consume films, media. For me, I need that breath in order to really understand what's going on and to take it all in, especially with a topic like this. So I appreciate how you went from like one setting to the next setting and allowed us to feel it, see it, and actually like take everything that they just said and really kind of digest it. Talk to me about your process and understanding about what you wanted to say to the audience and how you wanted to show this film to the audience.
Yeah, as you saw in the film, there are in the side of this destruction, of this absolutely disgusting face of the war, and right near it there is this beauty. And the title itself, Flowers Beyond the Dark. So this image of this beauty, of these flowers, we were looking for this title for a long time, for years, I think. But when it came, we understood, oh, that's it. Because Flowers Beyond the Dark, it's like our hope for the victory, for the best time. Our Flowers Beyond the Dark is a symbol when you saw that destruction is starting to grow with green grass, with flowers. Nature is not waiting. Mm-hmm. Nature is perfect. And it's like evidence to our not perfection, that we are imperfect, So this image of, beauty against these dark moments of war, it was such an important symbol for us. And also we wanted to share, beauty of our people. They are also beautiful. Yeah. Like human beings, and like people just. They are very beautiful and they do beautiful stuff. They are fighting for their families and for their comrades. They are painting this world. Natalia, she is willing to paint flowers in watercolors. How beautiful is this? Yeah. This is her calling, And this flower by herself under occupation. Oh my God, this is a huge symbol. And Sergei is trying to capture everything with his drawings and with his diary. Mm-hmm. It is so important, and it's become a really important part of the project. And in the same time, this image of white church. It's I have to mention that this is pure Ukrainian church, because there is a lot of propaganda that there is some pressure on prayers in Ukraine, on Orthodox people. But you have to understand that there is a Moscow church in Ukraine that were being all this time like our internal enemy, Mm-hmm. And there is a truly Ukrainian church. And this church in Bucha, it was just built. And when we came, it has these shots from tank, because it became first target when they come to the city. And they like, who you have to be to go in tank and see a white church and shoot it. Yeah. So, but in same way, it's like, this place of praying, yeah? This place of hope, this place of God, faced with mass grave on the territory. So all these components became like a big picture for us, where we understood that we have to put dark colors, but also we have to, you know, like to give the main place for flowers, for beauty, for light. And this, I think, a special moment of this film, special side of this film.
Thank you. That explains a lot. And Yulia, when you looked at this documentary in progress, like you said, you were trying to find funding for certain things.
Yeah.
What were some of the surprises that you found on your end about people wanting to help?
When I saw the documentary for the first time, it was my introduction to the characters.
Okay.
And so it was an intimate experience for me, but I immediately saw Iryna in it because there is a religious spiritual line, the artist line, and the soldier's line. And I felt like it's a good coverage. And my initial hesitation was about the spiritual line because hesitation in terms of like how it's going to be received because it's, you know, it's different religion. There's a scene of funeral in there, and I was just really curious how the audience will take it on. And it's been an interesting journey because I love this question. I love asking people who is your favorite characters, and Andy, we always get different answer.
Oh, sure.
And I love that because it's obvious people find different things relevant to themselves. So this wide, you know, broad coverage from religion, you know, spiritual line to artists and to soldiers, I think was a genius move by Iryna and has a good coverage of like emotional lines attached behind those characters. And I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person. And I was fascinated by Father Andriy Galavin. You know, this man, you just want to shut up and listen to him.
Це пояснити це зло неможливо. Вони не могли далі просунутися. Ріка Ірпінь плюс наші війська не давали їм можливість йти на Київ далі. Але основна біда була в тому, що тут під окупацією, коли не було ніяких бойових дій, коли не було військових, не було зброї, не було нічого, люди стикалися просто-напросто із лицем руського міра. Коли їх обшуковували, коли грабували, коли гвалтували, коли на вулицях розстрілювали, коли навіть і в домах розстрілювали на очах родичів. Це якби особливість власне Бучі.
Because he's still pretty young, but the wisdom, you know, how he carried himself, dealing with intense, probably the most intense stuff in his life, his limits were tested by God and devil. Yeah. But he had to be there to give, you know, to be this oasis for souls, for people who were devastated by what happened in Bucha, by people who lost people in Bucha, and he gave hope immediately. And I just couldn't get enough of him. I couldn't get enough of him, you know. As I mentioned, he became such an important media person, and I hope the world continues talking to him. We all can draw so much. Here in Carmel, people were fascinated by a couple of artists, of course, right?
This is a great place for that.
And another surprise that I encountered is some people don't realize that Natalia, we only have one woman in this documentary, Andy, and some people see 2 or 3 different women. They don't connect Natalia at the end of the film with Natalia under occupation.
Interesting.
Very.
And I'm like,
that makes
imagine
sense.
the toll of occupation.
Yeah.
That you cannot see the same person. But Natalia at the end of the film is normal Natalia. That's her in real life. An artist who has a second home outside of Kyiv that belongs to her husband, where he grew up, and they were just couple painting flowers, you know, or like living through art. And she had to go through that horror, and that completely changed her. Like, it modified her as a human, you know, how we saw her, how she saw herself. And that's a very telling story. And I love talking to people who love soldiers the most, because they're also characters and such a representation of younger and older generation, you know, just being there, united by one mission, no question asked, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Ми як в групі вчились навідниками, там була у нас така мета цього літа зустрітися з цією групою. Тільки вже нас залишилось, я не пам'ятаю скільки. Половини вже немає, це точно. принаймні ті, хто залишиться, з тим ми і зустрінемося обов'язково. Нам є що згадати. І буде ще що згадати.
Говорить.
Поділитися своїми такими враженнями, досягненнями. У військовій справі і взагалі.
В сімейному.
Ой, а женитися точно треба.
Да, жениться треба.
I love this Ukrainian word, треба. It's you have to, you know, like it's really like a philosophy and a mindset too. There's no questions asked. Треба, you know, and so like with this film, треба, we had to make it. And so I think that the characters are fantastic, and you actually, if you watch the film 2 or 3 times, you will discover absolutely new things.
Yeah.
And you shift your attention between the characters because maybe you'll step away from those you liked more first time around. So I'm now attached to our characters, of course.
Well, I'm also glad, I don't know if it was in the first one that I saw, but when you said like you introduced Natalia?
Yes.
When you introduced her, it said artist's wife. And it helped me kind of connect like back. And so, yeah, because they were in 2 separate places and second language for me, obviously. So it was nice to see that just subtle connection.
Yeah.
And it helped, but so what I'd like to do now is I have so many questions and we're not going to get to them. That's the
Make
thing
sure
about
you have what you want, but I think, yeah.
So there's one thing I like to do, especially with documentary filmmakers and other people that have a project like this. I like to call it now what.
Yeah.
And part of that is like you did the work. It's an amazingly beautiful but very poignant documentary. So now what? What's next? Not just for this documentary, but what's next for you and for the people of Ukraine?
Let me cover the documentary and then you say the people of Ukraine. Andy, I mentioned it's been a steep mountain. I mentioned it's been quite a journey with film festivals. You tell me why. Why we had so many no's from film festivals.
Really?
And
That's
I
my
can't
answer.
wrap my mind about it. We don't, you don't get a feedback. And I just simply wish it was one sentence. No room for stuff about Ukraine. The editing is, not what our audience wants. It's too slow. It's too religious. What is it? Is it the absence of taste in cinematography? Is it turning away from Ukraine? Is it the fact that we don't have any Grammys and Oscars attached to us? But we have been struggling, and therefore I'm extremely extremely grateful to Carmel Film Festival because, they saw this documentary for what it is, and Iryna has gotten an award from the audience. Iryna's got Oscars, of love and acceptance
really
from Carmel community.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, why so many film festivals keep saying no to us. So we need help potentially, with the festival strategists to see the film and maybe recommend something. But now we are extremely happy to have had our international premiere here at Carmel Film Festival, and we'll continue applying to film festivals potentially through the end of this year, kind of capping it at so we can do the festivals for the during 2026 first half. But our main mission right now becomes also distribution.
Right.
Because Iryna and Alexander and us, we have endured this with one mission: for non-Ukrainian audiences to see this film, to connect with Ukrainians on a human level, and for this film to spark action. The war is raging.
Yeah.
It's far from over. We need any help we can get. Our film is simply one more way to connect to Americans and people around the world to continue talking about Ukraine and organizing around this topic, have this dialogue, and also ask ourselves, what am I gonna do to help these people, to help this country? So distribution is extremely, extremely important for us. How do we get people to see this documentary when festivals are saying no?
So I have a few friends that one worked for HBO documentaries, and she probably is plugged into many places. And she, like you, is a producer, so she just gets things done. I love producers. They're like, I haven't worked with a producer in years. When you work for a corporate, you have project managers, but they're not producers. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate the work that producers do, because we cannot do everything, and you have to get to it, do it, go do your artwork, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what you said about film festivals, it's difficult in America because a lot of the film festivals, you have to have this kind of relationship of previously being in there.
We understood
So
it,
how
but
do these like ducklings get to
ridiculous.
how to start this relationship?
How to start this relationship?
Yeah, it starts like spending a ton of money in college. It's
Yeah.
it's
and we
hard.
are doing all our donation to Ukraine,
Yeah.
So we don't
Yeah,
have
and
this
stick
money.
with it. And that's the thing is, obviously having these conversations, not with me, but with other people, and figuring out and creating those bonds. Those are the best ways to do it. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really hard, especially, and like you said, I love the pace of your documentary. For me, but you're right, there are other places that might not do it, and that's
100%.
it's everyone has a different taste. So there's so many factors now these days, like you're saying, about politically or
Yes.
want to move away from it, and
Yeah.
some of them might, but mostly film festivals are very artistic, creative, and they want those kind of things.
Yeah. So we'll continue hacking it. Do you want to say what's next for Ukraine?
I
What now?
want to say,
What now for you?
Yeah.
I want to say one point about also our documentary and its future. It's important that, of course, we're struggling from this, issues with all these communications. But in the same time, this project is it's done because of support of such great, institutions like Ukrainian Cultural Foundation. And now we are making an English version adaptation of the film with this support. So this is for us also, like inspiring moment that institution in Ukraine during the war still helping artists to do something at least. And for Ukrainian Cultural Foundation, they understand that this is so important to talk with world. So we are here also representing our, government institutions, and for us it's so much important. Also, I wanted to say thanks to Lelekov Foundation, who just make me fly here.
Yeah,
So-
helped Iryna to get here.
Yeah. So I want to say that the future for Ukraine and for Ukrainian people is so connected with this, common fight in absolutely different levels. Because you can think that you done not enough. I had this question at the festival. We felt so guilty. We can't do anything, but you can do one thing at a time. You can, even that you came to me and said feedback that I will take and bring it to Ukraine. And I will say, guys, they're still with us.
Yes.
Don't worry. They feel guilty. Let's give them some tools. This is the most important, and I think this is the way to see the future. In general, of course, for us, we see only free, strong Ukraine in the future, a strong European country with a great people and with all our territories. It's a very difficult task, but we want to world to understand. Just peace, it's not good for us. We want peace the most.
Yeah.
But we want win and have a peace. Because any other scenarios will take us to the same point, to aggression. We can do pause on this war. We can stop just for the time. Pause.
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 I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my English is touching. But in the same time, we have to understand that if we will not destroy this evil, it will do its work one more time, one more time, and one more time. Because, you know, this war, it's not started in 2022. It's century-long genocide.
Yeah.
First by Russian Empire, then Soviet Union, and then by Russia. And for Ukrainians, we are so long in this, you know. So finally, we are online with all our tragedies. So please help us to fight and to win.
Thank you for that.
Angie, and you know, just something that, you know, that speaks to me in short, that's just truth, and it's hard for me to understand why people don't see it immediately for what it is if Russia stops fighting, there's no war.
I know.
If Ukraine stops fighting, there's no Ukraine.
That's a very valid
And
point.
it hurts me so much when people come to us and say, just give up the land. It will never work with Russia.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no land grabbing or land sharing. He wants Ukrainian identity dead.
Yep.
And if, you know, when people say something like this, can they answer the question to themselves first? If someone comes to their home, shoots their wife, kills their dog, rapes their daughter, would they share that home with them for peace?
That's a powerful analogy. And you're absolutely 100% right.
Please
by saying
answer
that.
this question to yourself first before you come to us and say give up land.
Yeah.
Without understanding the conflict of century-long, you know, efforts to erase Ukrainian culture. And here, even at the festival, we come across people. They're so supportive. They're so genuine in their efforts to be supportive to us. And they say, I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian. And everything inside us drops. And please don't take it personal. It's, get this, Ukrainians showing right now, we rather die than have anything to do with Russian. So please, Ukraine is not Russia. Ukraine is independent country, European country. We have nothing to do with Russia. Kyiv was founded in 5th century before Moscow existed.
And Ukrainian language, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's Kyiv, not Kyiv. Odessa was one with an S. Borscht is traditional Ukrainian dish. There is no repin, it's ripin. And we can go on for so long, but just know, like, imagine the level of trauma. When they're killing our children, when they're stealing our children.
Because every generation experiences it.
Yes, every generation.
Therefore, yes, the pain is very deep and it's real and it's not personal. We just want to scream top of our lungs. Ukraine is independent, strong, free country, and we'd rather die than be, under Russia. Never again.
Yes.
Powerful.
And please learn Ukrainian culture if you want to understand us. We are not victims. We are a very strong, beautiful nation. And I think maybe this is the key for the bigger support.
So one last thing, maybe not last thing, but I do that all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a YouTuber, his name is Luke Forsyth.
Okay.
And he's a documentary filmmaker.
All right.
And he does amazing YouTube videos about his work and being a documentary filmmaker. Recently, he had all these cine lenses, anamorphic, that he was giving away. And he's like, just put your name in, do all this stuff. I was like, yeah. So I jumped into that. And then when he announced who won it, he's like, we decided to give it to Ukrainian school.
Wow.
And it's just like, oh, that was the best option. Like, I'm so happy he did that. And the reason I bring that up is because I want to know, what can we as a film community do to help Ukrainians get equipment, get certain things to help keep telling their story? Because you guys, you could take our stuff and make it look 100 times better as far as like the beauty that comes from it.
Thank you so much. And you give this proposition to right person.
All right.
Because I'm working in our main university in the Institute of Screen Arts in Kyiv. So your help, your technical help for us, it will make a huge difference really for our films. Because every time, we are facing that we have great ideas, but have no absolutely any technical possibility to do that. We have no technical, staff in institute to shoot our degrees works. We are doing it by ourselves.
Yeah.
Our families are the main sponsors. Year after year, year after year.
I just also, remember the times, I would travel to Ukraine all the time, even during the war, and I used to be in photography, and I just remember bringing the suitcases, or checking suitcases of lens with me, and Ira, can you make this work? What can we do? Luckily
we actually used these lenses during making this film.
And guys, if any regular filmmaker would take a look at the technical did a technical audit of equipment we had, I think they'll be even more blown away. And I want to commend Alexander also for his drone footage.
Mm-hmm.
We've been,
yes,
we've
absolutely.
been, getting tons of comments on the drone footage.
That's beautiful.
And so, if we have that equipment, we can learn more.
Yep.
We can do more.
And that was one scene with the drone where you're in the auto cemetery and it goes up and it pans and then tilts up. When I first saw that, I thought it was like another mass grave, but that's another cemetery, right?
Yes.
That whole land was it fallen soldiers or?
No, this is like a town cemetery, but it was important that it was much smaller before war.
Okay.
And this panorama ends with this a big row for these.
But mostly it's fallen soldiers who has increased.
It's soldiers, but most of all, these were civilians. It was a cemetery in Irpin we're talking about.
So then this was a cemetery where people were reburied properly, you're saying. So from all the mass graves, Ukrainians did really, and they were so particular about identifying each person, putting a name to that person.
They put a license plate on someone so they could be identified.
Yeah, no, guys, we should not be talking about atrocities like this in 2025. No. Didn't we learn lessons? And I want to actually, bring in an interesting point, because you mentioned about Sergei. He was not in storage unit, it was always basement.
Okay.
But Andy, a lot of basements were left over from World War II. How crazy is it we're reusing the basements from World War II? How crazy that Ukrainians are forced to create schools underground or use
Kharkiv,
metro.
for example.
In Kharkiv, they had to do schools for kids to have education possibility. They had to go down because it's either you're learning or you're killed. This is not the choice people should be making.
No.
In the middle of Europe.
Children for years can't afford to go actually to school. A lot of them studying online for years, from all these years of, first COVID, then full-scale invasion. And when someone can learning in the basement, he's lucky one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is absolutely.
It's tragic on so many levels.
How's the spirit of the Ukrainian people right now?
Spirit, our spirit is strong as at the first day of the invasion. Of course, we are starting also to get tired.
Sure.
But maybe, even not tired, but thinking, wow, when we could do our next huge step for victory, we are waiting every day for some, maybe not miracle, but such support from the world that can be, critical important, key to make us to do something that really can change how this world is going on, because it's possible. It's possible. It's a few decisions that can make us stronger. And we are waiting for this time. And of course, our absolutely amazing, brave soldiers who are like, they are angels, gods.
They're gods.
They're gods,
at least.
Because they are, in such absolutely tough places for 4 years. And this, also in this land, and it's absolutely, I don't know, if you hear the word hero, it's about Ukrainian soldier.
So, like I was telling you, my wife, she worked on a book. She's a graphic designer about war heroes. And so she did a lot of the pictures and everything else. And I was fortunate enough to help like up-res some of the images for that. But just seeing the work that she put into that, and there's a independent journalist still going around to all these places interviewing soldiers, and that word hero is mentioned over and over, and it's so well deserved of what they're going through. And so thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Cindy. Yeah, let's throw this in there.
Yeah.
You know, I think anyone can, if people are inspired or would like to follow our journey, we really kindly ask to follow Flowers Beyond the Dark on Facebook, Instagram, and let's make this journey even more successful together. You know, we need, it takes a village. You know, we need help, and the main help is to help us to spread the word.
Any last thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think that the most important is to understand that light is always wins under the dark. Beauty, truth. And we have to keep fighting with these thoughts, because we are so much stronger than them. Because truth and goodness, it's so much easier. So let's be best versions of ourselves, because this is the only thing that helped Ukrainians. We woke up and we understood that if we will not do it, no one will do it.
You both have said some amazing things today, and I'm so grateful for the love of the work that you have and for your people too. Thank you, Yulia and Iryna, for joining me, and continue success on this journey together. I want to thank Iryna and Yulia for sharing their masterful and deeply moving documentary, Flowers Beyond the Dark, and for taking the time to speak with me about the filmmaking process, as well as the challenges they face in securing distribution and film festival opportunities. Please follow @Flowers Beyond the Dark on Instagram and Facebook for project updates, screening information, and ways you can support. For more on the documentary and to contribute, visit their website at righttimestudios.com. I'll have all the links in the description below. And if you're a filmmaker interested in contributing gear to aid their work, get in touch with me, and I'll coordinate with Iryna and Yulia on the best way to get the equipment to them. Doing that during a war with logistics is really tough, so this is the best way to go. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that bell, and sharing it with your friends to help more people discover these important stories. We're currently at 4,795 subscribers, getting close to that milestone of 5,000, and it would be amazing to reach that before the year ends. Your support truly makes a difference, and if you want to know more of my work, visit talentfreaks.com, where you can explore some of my video work as well as my current passion for photography. And if you have ideas or guests that you'd like to see on the show, don't hesitate to reach out. I love bringing fresh perspectives to the podcast. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and stay curious. Slava Ukraini, and thanks, Joel, for all the help on this episode.